Hello my quilting friends, my name is Leah Day and welcome to my wood shop, or I should also say laser cutting shop. I'm out here today cutting a new batch of circle templates and Dresden template sets, and just a warning, it is a little loud in here. I have to have an air compressor on, I have to have a big filter on, I have to have a water cooler on in order to run this thing. So it's going to be a little bit loud, a little bit of background noise in this podcast, so I hope you'll forgive that. But this is kind of a new thing that Josh and I have started doing, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Here's a little B-roll, little shot of the laser actually cutting our circle templates. And it's awesome technology. It's based on the same idea as our embroidery machine software, running off of a, basically a CAD software where it reads XYZ coordinates. Same thing 3D printers are running off of, same thing long arm quilting designs are running off of. So I really feel like I'm understanding this kind of software a lot better, and it's interesting how I'm starting to be able to use these different things to do I've actually just recently taken a design that was meant for quilting and I put it into laser cutting software because it was just a little easier to use. So very fun stuff. And right now I'm resetting the laser and putting in a new piece of plastic to cut another batch. So I'm gonna pull these out real quick. I actually had kind of a mistake that I made on this set because I hadn't set my origin point. You have to tell the laser basically where to start, and I forgot to do that. And it kind of didn't do quite right, and that's okay. Sometimes I find if I'm a little distracted or I'm in too much of a hurry, I can end up making mistakes, just like with quilting. But I really love designing for this. I really love being out here in the barn, having an excuse to get out here with all my woodworking stuff and to be able to play. Because of how much power all of this stuff takes to run, I'm not actually able to use my lathe and turn while I'm out here, but I'm hoping to make some changes, get an electrician out here to help us and maybe put a little bit more power out here, and that would fix that, so I would be able to then work on my lathe and do some woodworking while I'm out here waiting on the laser, because a lot of times this is a little bit of start and stop, hurry up and wait kind of stuff, where I get it reset, I get my next piece of plastic ready to go, and then I kind of have to wait for it to finish cutting before I can do anything else. So yeah, this was my mistake. That's my mistake. Templates, just part of the process, right? We make mistakes and we don't let that slow us down too bad. We just got to keep on going. So there we go. I got my new piece of plastic in, get that lined up, and now I can cut another batch. So the main reason that Josh and I decided to invest in this, and we got the laser back in 2020, right at the end of 2020, and the story of getting this thing in here is a story in and of itself. It was ridiculous, but we really just wanted to start making our own products. And the cool thing is this doesn't cut just acrylic, it cuts wood, leather. I am going to get back into making my caddies because I really want to make more of those. And fabric, you can cut fabric, including like if I did a fused pattern, like our Eternal Love Goddess quilt, to do that with fusible web on the back and then going ahead and pre-cut all the shapes. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. You could also engrave fabric, so you can engrave patterns and designs on it. Really neat. And really the kind of an endless potential of things I can make with it. It's really just time and testing and making sure that I get it all set up right, and then patiently being out here cutting and working it through. I have taught James how to use it, and he's very interested in making a little extra cash, so I sometimes get him to come out here and just kind of babysit it and he really enjoys it too. So it's really working out for all of us, and I keep trying to get him to see what he can design and play with. You know, he can make like little boxes and, you know, fun gizmos and stuff like that. But we're not quite there at the creative stage yet, but he's definitely seeing the possibilities when it comes to helping us out and helping me wipe down templates, because they come out a little bit dirty and I need to wipe this down in order for it to be ready to be packaged up and shipped to you. So yeah, as for the story of getting this in here, so it's a pretty big, heavy piece of equipment. And I actually had originally bought one that was even bigger, and I was like, oh, I don't think I actually can fit it through the doors. You don't think about that. This is really a piece of equipment designed to go into a big warehouse space with a poured concrete floor, that kind of thing. And really the idea is to have it delivered to a place that has a lift gate, that has a concrete floor that's high enough where it can go roll straight off the truck and into the warehouse. We don't have that. And it was delivered at the top of our driveway, which is a good solid 100 feet away from the door to the barn. And the barn, you know, we have 4 steps coming up into the barn too. So December 2020, Josh and I were out there with simple machines, basically a rolly cart and a metal lever. I just used a piece of garden equipment that happened to have a steel pipe as the handle, and a hand truck, and using very simple machines and a lot of patience. It took 2 days to roll it down the hill, the crate, and get it to the door, and then we had to build a ramp, and then even then it was a lot of finger crossing and praying, and oh my gosh, it nearly squashed us flat, we'll put it that way. And only after all of that, got it into the barn, Josh looked at me and said, you know, you could be pregnant. And I was actually pregnant with Betty. So that makes the story that much more funny, because it was very early days. But yeah, all that heavy lifting, all that craziness, getting this thing in here, and I was actually early days pregnant with Betty. So one of those funny things. But I love it. I love being out here. I love playing with my wood shop, and it has been a continual effort to keep this place clean. And like, I need to take the trash out yet again. I'm not out here as often as, you know, the crafty cottage or the basement, so it just kind of gets junky real quick. And then I share the space with Josh's chicken stuff and bunny feed and, you know, tools, garden tools and everything else. So I have to be out here at least once or twice a week just to tidy up, you know, clean it out. But I love it. I'm really, really enjoying this, guys. And like I said, so far we have the Dresden template set and the circle template set, and I'm working on some scrap templates, not only using up my scrap acrylic, which I've got right here. You know, I have a lot of pieces that just, you know, I end up with shapes and stuff that I could still cut. I could still get something out of that. So I save it, and I'm hoping to come up with a scrap template that will use that up and also give us some cool possibilities with quilt piecing too. So as far as other news around the house, Betty is crawling. She is booking it around and getting into everything. James is driving, so he is booking it around and getting into everything. He got his permit last week, so that's super exciting. And yeah, Josh and I are just scrambling to keep up, really, with both of our kids. And I just feel very, very grateful for just the spring and beautiful weather. I'm a little bit stuffy, you know, from the pollen, but enormously grateful for our life and what we're doing and how we're making stuff ourselves. I just really, really love that. So I did finish the Whirligig quilt. We did some decorative stitches, and that was 2 weeks ago. Definitely check out that video just so you can see how I did those decorative stitches. And I experimented with new videos. They're called shorts, or they're under 60 seconds each. Definitely taught me some new things as far as filming goes, of being more concise, of showing things in a very succinct way. And a lot of people liked them. Unfortunately, YouTube didn't promote them, so they didn't get a lot of views. So definitely check out those videos and check them out. I did put those videos on Pinterest and Instagram too, so you can kind of check them out in different places. Another thing that I did was Dresden number 5, and this is fused. I actually used the circle templates plus the Dresden curve templates, mix and match to do fused edge on all sides. It was a geek fest. It was lots of fun. So definitely check that one out if you want a nice big, beautiful Dresden ring. That was super cute. And then I'm planning a new Dresden plate for next week. I'm thinking I might play around with another Dresden plate quilt, a baby quilt for Betty. I'm kind of kicking the idea around. We'll see if I have time. I still have lots of secret sewing I got to get through between now and the beginning of May. And I'm kind of feeling the pressure a little bit on that, where I've got to get some stuff written, I got to get some videos filmed, I got to get the stuff done on time. You know, deadlines are deadlines. And they're a little bit challenging, but manageable. You know, I wouldn't have taken on something that I couldn't handle right now, especially with Betty being so little. I really want to enjoy this time, have fun with her, and we have our special time every evening. Right now she's napping, so far this is working out great. So I have another batch almost done cutting, and if you'd like to check these out and come and get a set, you can find them at leahday.com/circle. You can also find the Dresden templates at leahday.com/Dresden. I am designing more, and this is just a fun adventure. Hoping to come out with more quilting caddies soon. As soon as I can tweak that pattern a little bit and figure out what we're doing with the leather, I think it's going to be great. So if you'd like to find more podcast episodes, of course, you can find them at leahday.com/podcast. And one last thing, guys, I have decided to stop blogging on the Free Motion Quilting Project. I know it's kind of end of an era, but it just really didn't make sense to be posting in 2 different places anymore. So I'm now blogging on leahday.com too. And I put a little, the blog continues, on the Free Motion Quilting Project. So you can find the new blog on leahday.com. You can easily link over. Don't worry, all those posts are going to stay there. I'm going to maintain the site. It's not going anywhere, but it just didn't make sense to continue posting 2 different places. It was making me a little crazy, actually. And I am all for minimizing, keeping it, simple, easy, fun, and quick. That's really my focus these days, and making sure that I can manage everything and it not make me crazy. So I hope that you'll come and check that out. Until next time, let's go quilt.